you want to know how to get in shape, get some six-pack abs, maybe get some big-ass arms. I've been getting a lot of comments lately talking about Big T, you look like you're getting swole, man. Big T got some big arms. Big T, is that a tricep or a horseshoe on your shit? So I thought it was necessary to take a few minutes today just to lay out, you know, a foolproof plan to get you in shape. Now, disclaimer, I am not a certified personal trainer, nutritionist, any shit like that. But with that being said, I'm right, and you should fucking listen. Alright, so I want to break this video down into two different categories: diet and routine. We're going to start with diet. The first thing you got to do is you need to go online and you got to calculate your BMR. This is your basal metabolic rate. And depending on which calculator you choose, because there's probably a lot of them once you Google that, it's either going to let you factor in an activity level or it won't. But basically what this number is going to give you is the amount of calories that your body burns each day if you were to just lay in bed all day and rest. Like I said, some of them will have you factor in an activity level. That way it'll give you a rough estimate of how many calories you're burning each day doing everything that you do, including your workouts. Now, once you get this number, it's not gonna be totally correct. You know, it's gonna be different each day. Your body's not the same each day, and the calculator's gonna be off a little bit, maybe by even a few hundred calories, which is a pretty big discrepancy. But once you get this number, you need to decide one of two things. You're either gonna want to put on new muscle tissue and gain weight, or you're going to want to maintain the muscle tissue that you have and lose body fat. It's very hard to do both at the same time. It is possible if you are either extremely obese or if you're very new to lifting. But if neither of those are you, you're gonna need to choose which one you wanna do. Now, if you want to maintain the muscle that you have and lose fat, you're gonna wanna take your BMR, subtract 500 calories away from it, and try to eat that many calories every single day. Do that for long enough and you will be as lean as you possibly want. Unless you want to get to like 6 or 8% body fat, then you're gonna have to do some crazy shit. But this will get you in good shape, I assure you. Now, if you want to put on new muscle tissue, gain weight, but you don't want to get super fat, you want to take your BMR, add 250 calories to it, and try to eat that every single day. And try not to go too far above it, because people have a lot of misconceptions about how much muscle you can actually put on in, say, a year or two. Now, granted, during your first year or two of lifting, you can put on quite a bit, but it's still not as much as people think. If you put on 20 pounds of real lean muscle tissue in a year, you did great. So eating in a surplus of 250 calories is plenty. You don't need any more than that. Any more calories than that, you're just gonna get fat. You'll still put on muscle too, but you're gonna put on a lot of unwanted body fat that you're gonna have to try to cut off later. Not physically. I mean, you could physically try to cut it off, I guess, but whenever you go back to lose weight. The last thing diet-wise that you need to know, maybe two things. One, you're gonna wanna be eating enough protein to support new muscle growth, and that's still not as much as people think. You don't need to worry about spiking your insulin or, you know, taking protein shakes in your post-workout anabolic window. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit made up by supplement companies and the supplement industry designed to sell you things. For the sake of just getting into good shape, if you are eating, you don't even need as much protein as people think either. In my opinion, just to be safe, I would eat 1 gram of protein for every pound of lean body mass you have on your body. In order to calculate your lean body mass, you're gonna need to take your total weight, figure out at least a rough estimate of what your body fat percentage is, and then do the math on that. So if you were 200 pounds at 20% body fat, you go 200 times 0.20, you have 40 pounds of fat. That means you would have 160 pounds of lean body mass on your body. So in that particular situation, I would recommend eating at least 150, 160 grams of protein per day. That'll put you in the safe range. Along with getting enough protein, I would recommend drinking a shitload of water, and don't underestimate the importance of micronutrients. Take a multivitamin, take fish oils, try to live a healthy life. Now, you don't necessarily have to eat healthy in order to have a ripped physique or to get bigger. You know, the amount of micronutrients in your body isn't necessarily going to affect your body composition, but your body will just work better if you eat actual nutritious foods. So keep that in mind when you're selecting the foods that you're gonna eat each day. Moving on, let's talk about your routine a little bit. If you are a natural lifter, meaning that you are not on steroids or taking extra testosterone or something like that, muscle protein synthesis in your body, which is a pretty complicated process, but just for the sake of this video, we'll say that's when your body is repairing muscle tissue so that it can you know, become stronger, more dense, and take on a bigger workload. That is elevated in your body for, at most, 72 hours after a workout. Again, that's if you're a natural lifter. If you're on steroids, this could be any fucking amount. It could be a long time. So that means if you hit chest on Monday, your chest is going to be repairing itself and growing bigger and stronger. Granted that you stimulated the muscle enough for it to have a reason to change and grow. It's gonna be done growing by about Thursday, meaning you are free to hit your chest again on Thursday. You don't need to wait a week. Please don't go into it with a bro split. You shouldn't have a chest day, a back day, an arms day, a shoulders day, something on Friday, then take the weekends off and then hit chest again once a week, hit back once a week. You need to be hitting each muscle group 2 to 3 times a week. So some of the routines I recommend is either, you know, starting out with a full body workout 3 times per week. You can do a split where you work out your upper body one day, your lower body the next day, take a rest, then hit the upper body again. This is gonna be close to hitting each body part 3 times a week, and maybe you're cutting it close on like the time you need to recover. So your diet will really need to be on point, as well as like the amount of sleep that you're getting, the amount of water that you're drinking, and just how well you're taking care of your body. Or you can do what I'm doing right now, which is push-pull legs rest. It gives you about 3 days rest in between each workout. Plenty of time to recover, and it's easy. You know, you're in the gym like 5 days a week, so it's not very difficult to get your workouts in. You can look up routines online, just look up a push-pull legs routine and it should give you that. But when you are, you know, working out your chest or your back, for example, I would say stick to heavy compound movements. Like I said, you have to stimulate your muscle enough to force it to change. If you go in and half-ass your workouts and your body doesn't feel it needs to change to take on that workload again, it's not going to. So you need to focus on progressive overload, focus on either increasing the amount of reps that you're doing with a certain weight on a certain exercise, or increasing the weight every time you're in the gym. Maybe not every time, but as soon as you can, you need to be trying to increase the weight. And if you're new to lifting, you should be able to get stronger at a very rapid pace, doing heavy compound movements and focusing on you know, progressive overload, like I said. If you do all of these things, if you have your diet in check, you are eating the right amount of calories specific to what your goals are, whether you want to lose weight or gain weight, you are hitting each muscle group with compound, heavy movements multiple times per week, you're drinking water, you're taking a multivitamin, you're getting enough sleep, I swear to God, you will see gains. You will lose the fat you want. You will get bigger arms, fucking shoulders, chest, whatever you want. It will happen if you follow these guidelines. And if you say, well, I just can't gain weight no matter what it is, I'm just skinny, you're not eating enough food. If it's not moving on the scale, I would recommend maybe weighing yourself once a week. If the scale's not moving in the right direction, then your diet or activity level is off. There are some wrong calculations going on. You have to readjust and come back into it. It's a marathon, not a sprint. This has got to be a lifestyle change. This is stuff that's going to take years upon years of sculpting and changing and shit. So yeah, that's what I recommend doing if you're looking to get in shape. Like I said, a lot of you guys have been leaving comments asking. So there it was. Go back, watch it again, check up the facts on the internet. Like I said, I'm not a personal trainer or anything, but I've done a lot of research on the subject over the years, and these are things that I have found to be true and to be like scientifically proven through like lab results and testing. So if you did enjoy the video here today, be sure to leave a like. If you didn't, just refresh it and give it one more chance. And as always, guys, I don't really have an... Oh, one last thing I forgot to mention. Whatever you do, whatever routine you choose, whatever compound movements you're doing in those workouts, make sure
you squat. Squatting is the end-all, be-all exercise. It is great. It requires the most concentration, the most focus, the most central nervous system activity producing motherfucking stabilizer muscle. Anything in your body, it requires a full body effort. Squatting does. And if you do it, you will be a better person because of it. So just squat and don't be a bitch about it.